Lately, I've been dealing with a lot in regards to my mental health. Um, I've been diagnosed with uh, MDD as well as anxiety disorder, and while I've been dealing with that, I've also had to uh, find a way to motivate myself in releasing all these projects and going to the studio and making music and all that jazz. And what I want to do here right now is to give someone who's dealing with something similar a way to cope or deal with everything that goes on in that space. If you're dealing with like some type of mental health struggle, whether it be depression or anxiety, the first and best thing I would say to do is to talk to people. I talk to my therapist and I talk to my friends and family who are willing to listen. So if you could find people that are willing to listen, are healthy people that want to listen, as well as going to a therapist of some kind, that's definitely great because they'll offer you some feedback. They'll definitely either validate or definitely criticize you if there is something you've missed in whatever trouble you find yourself in. And the one thing you don't want to do is chase after people who just don't want to listen. I found myself doing that a lot early on, and it was the most gut wrenching, heartbreaking feeling where like I want to tell this person what I've been dealing with, what I've been struggling with, and there's just an unwillingness to kind of just hear what I've been going through. And it's not like I'm going to random people. These are people that I felt would want to know what I've been struggling with, and you know, learning that they didn't want to hear me, it definitely, or it seemed like they didn't want to hear me, definitely kind of broke me in a way. It made what I was dealing with worse. So definitely put stock into people who love you, people who have your best interests in mind, and speak to them. I know a therapist definitely helps out with that. I know there's a lot more resources out there that get you access to a therapist. I take mine on video chat. I don't go in person. So either or works. In person, video chat doesn't really matter. I think you could get a lot out of therapy in general. The second thing that's been helping me deal with everything has been creating proper boundaries for myself. One thing that I ran into a lot before was allowing disrespect, allowing negativity, allowing people to talk to me however they want, allowing people to kind of just like walk all over me, kind of being a doormat basically. And that usually stemmed from me kind of seeing myself as, you know, someone who can kind of just take it all, and also seeing the other person struggle, the other person's trouble, and how they've dealt with their own traumas. And if you know me, while I have my own traumas, I don't really have like world like crushing, soul crushing issues. Um, but I don't know. I struggle with even that conflict because I feel like my trauma is just as valid as anybody else. But that's what I'm saying. There, I would undermine my own issues and kind of like put their issues on a not a pedestal, but like put their issues as a priority. Where it's like, oh, I gotta walk around certain people and act a certain way because I want to trigger certain things. But I don't think they had that concern when speaking, talking to me. So I found myself constantly having to ask, don't speak to me like that. Please stop intruding on my business. You're not helping me. You're being very rude. You're being very mean. Like it's like almost like I'm talking with a bully, and I wasn't supposed to be. I was supposed to talk to friends, loved ones, and unfortunately, they didn't have it in them to give me the respect to respect me. So proper boundaries are very, very important. And I know going forward, a lot of things just can't slide. And you may lose people, but in some cases, that's probably for the best. Because I feel like any adult will be able to see someone laying down boundaries and being like, okay, I could adapt to this if that means keeping you around in my life. And that's how I want to operate going forward. And I feel like if you struggle with boundaries, just know that there is a huge risk when you don't have proper boundaries, and that could cost you your well-being. So keep that in mind. And the last point I would like to make as far as knowing how to deal with everything is looking at the bigger picture as far as what you're involved with, as far as who is invested into you, as far as who has believed in you, who has helped you, who has supported you. Because in spite of all petty drama, there are people that are definitely watching you, and they want you to succeed. They want you to reach your your highest potential. And if you get involved in a lot of conflict, unnecessary conflict, that's going to take your focus off of that. And it definitely took my focus off of that. And I would try to combat petty drama with some type of like retaliation. And in some cases, I ended up digging a deeper hole for myself. And, at the time, it's kind of hard to navigate when like you're being blindsided by so much drama. But over time, I learned to understand that with so many people counting on me to operate on at the highest level, or like a high level, I can't afford to entertain that. So I kept focused on that, and fortunately, that has helped. That has allowed me to release, part one of We Are Spidey. That has allowed me to continue with making We Are Spidey. Because too many people donated to that project, and too many people that's helped out with that project. It'd be irresponsible of me to kind of just fall back into some nonsense because of other people don't know how to act right. So staying focused on the bigger picture can definitely help you as well. It will not be easy. It will be very hard. I know for me, there were a lot of times where my mind was so consumed with a lot of the making of We Are Spidey that I had to put it down for a bit because I needed to kind of regroup and just continue. But for me, the reason why I got the diagnosis of MDD and anxiety disorder was because before that, I had a situation where I collapsed like twice on the ground. I didn't go unconscious, but like I was dizzy and I fell onto the ground, and I had a hard time getting up, but I got up, and I told my dad and my mom, like, I gotta see somebody, I gotta get evaluated. Now, while there was no physical issues, there was definitely like, oh yeah, there's a lot mentally that's going on up there, And sometimes now I do feel like I want to throw up and I get nauseous, but fortunately now I'm seeing some sort of light at the end of the tunnel. Granted, that light is not too bright, but it's a light. And, as long as I keep on praying, that light will get brighter and brighter and brighter. And it'll make it easier for me to kind of run towards it. But now I'm walking with cautious optimism, which again, I want to be in a place where I can move more freely. But that's where I'm at right now. So if you're dealing with something similar, just know that you're not alone. And know that if you need someone to speak to, I'm always available. You can message me. And, and if you're not comfortable with that, you have people in your life. And all the other things that I've kind of said, you should consider doing or pursuing. Not saying this is a catch-all, this is a, this or nothing, because everybody copes differently. But I hope this definitely helps you out. But anyway, that's all I have to say. Thank you very much, and have a good day.